I have to go back to California to attend a wildlife rehabilitators symposium, so that's going to take us to Yosemite and the tracks around California's Sierra Nevada.
Just passing through Fredonia, the Chevron service station where they had Judd's Auto, where they had lotto, guns, ammo and beer.
Just a whole pile of good decisions right there.
What could go wrong?
At the base of the Sierras, it's readily apparent that the icy clutches of winter are starting their stranglehold upon the land. Cricket's water bowl is frozen solid. Small, frigid streams flowing from the mountains have icicles forming along the fringes beneath the thickets of vegetation. We enjoy a few little side trips around the area before proceeding onwards, up into the mountains towards Yosemite National Park.
There's a big hole through the mountain. It's quite possible Yosemite is Cricket's most favourite place ever, dragging summer along the trail to Bridal Falls. Plunging 620 feet down the grey granite cliffs, this scenic waterfall is at its most tumultuous in spring and early summer, but is a fine sight regardless year round. Cricket insists on a stop to gaze out over the spectacular Yosemite Valley and is in quite a rush to get there. Another stop at the little village of Camp Curry, with views of the distinctive Half Dome. A few of the locals are still out and about. The handsome California ground squirrel watches its cousin, the western grey squirrel, actively searching for a snack amongst the leaf litter. The American robin perches calmly on the ground, happily regurgitating seeds. Our destination for summer's symposium is a posh lodge on the outskirts of the park. Cricket greatly approves of the facilities, being a huge fan of fluffy pillows. Wandering through the hotel, I discover a deserted swimming area and do my best not to look too creepy sitting alone in the hot tub. Outside is even more swimming options, though the concept is a little too chilly for my taste. Wilms relaxes with a cool cup of hippie tea, gearing up for her learning about wildlife rescue and rehabilitation. While Summer goes to work, Cricket and myself take a stroll through the forest, encountering one of the locals out doing the same. We don't have to go too far before we stumble upon a small stream. A diminutive kinglet is on the hunt for insects, and an American dipper is also busy searching for morsels along the edge of this bubbling brook. To my delight, we see evidence of aquatic denizens, riffles on the surface as trout rise to feed. Trout are very well camouflaged, difficult to see even though there is one in plain sight. The fish are barely bigger than the palm of my hand, but regardless, we prepare for the hunt. Trying to sneak up on wild trout is a tricky endeavour, made even more challenging with thick bush and a mad dog relentlessly harassing the angler. After the first sloppy cast, we try another, and Cricket moves in to get closer to the action, a decision which doesn't go too well for the little dog. Needless to say, there are no fish on the end of my hook this day. I don't know how we do it. Cricket and myself are wallowing in the lap of luxury while Summer does her classes for her animal rehabilitation stuff. And in the meantime, we've just got to sit here with clean linen, soft beds, pillows and coffee refills. We do it so tough.
It's still a little early to call an end to the trip, so once again we cross the Sierras eastbound to continue the adventure.
Having left the luxury of the lodge, we're back on the eastern side of the Sierras. And a problem we're running into is that this area around Yosemite is not a place you're going to find free camps. The trouble is, the Forestry Service camps have all closed down now that we're moving into November. We have found a good one here though that is open a little longer. They've extended their time because the weather's still good. Now from here, we're going to try and find our way into the mountains to a place called the Laurel Lakes. And we're going to see what we can find up there.
The Steller's jay is a common but notoriously wary bird. Likewise, the white-bellied nuthatch can be a tough customer to track down for a good shot. Mountain chickadees are fast-moving subjects amongst the thick foliage, and the nuthatch is back. Even the good old Clark's nutcracker makes an appearance. Then Cricket spots an intruder. Looks like our morning visitor's going to join us for coffee. Cricket's not really interested in chickens unless they are roasted or fried.
That was weird. It was an unruffled grouse. Well, what am I supposed to do with this?
An egg.
I hope the grouse doesn't come back looking for its egg.
This bush chicken looks very similar to a creature a few of us call a ruffled grouse, though most folk call it a ruffed grouse. However, they are not found in this area, narrowing the suspects down to the female sooty grouse.
That's not a good place for the forest chicken on that grill.
Here's your coffee.
Once we ascend to the top of the hill, a rough, rocky trail follows the contours of the valley. Since we're fully loaded in a remote location, we choose a slow approach over the rugged terrain. Eventually, our destination is in sight, far below, and we begin a perilous descent down to the lake. A sharp switchback requires a 20-point turn. Careful not to tumble over the edge. A faster, but less desirable option. Our view of the lake reveals more than half of it has been iced over by the increasingly chilly conditions. The disco makes a careful descent down the crumbling slope, slipping and sliding even in low range.
So here we are. That was quite an adventurous drive. We're at the beautiful Laurel Lakes. And it looks frozen. So what's tonight's dinner, Wilms?
Well, we'll see, because I'm suffering a little. I think maybe I've got a touch of altitude sickness or something. But it's supposed to be a cottage pie.
Do you have the recipe?
Nope.
Where's that?
It was on the internet or at home, and I forgot it.
Best of luck with that then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wing it. It's worked before. Well, they're gonna be a little lumpy, but that's okay.
A little lumpy.
Just a little bit.
I'm sure we'll survive.
Yeah. There's a magic sauce. It's not as pretty as I'd make it at home, but still, there's an art to it. So maybe we'll get some coals and we'll put this over a low heat for a while just to let the flavors kind of develop a bit. Ooh, that's warm. That looks good enough to me, because I'm hungry.
A little crispness there. It's not bad.
I think it'll be breakfast as well.
Yep.
Oh my word. Wilms, this is even better than noodles.
Gee, thanks.
And that's saying something. Very nourishing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're up about 10,000 feet here at the Laurel Lakes. I think that's equates to probably over 3,000 metres. I have to confess that through the night I was gasping for air. I normally don't usually feel that I succumb to altitude issues up until around 4,000 metres, but yeah, kind of feeling it. It's a little chilly at night as well.
There are two lakes here. The smaller lower lake is obviously quite shallow. The upper lake is much larger and deeper and also half frozen. The west side is yet to receive an icy surface with steep cliffs sinking below the water that look quite fishy. The unfrozen bit reflects the surrounding environment and is visited by mountain chickadees for a thirst-quenching reprieve from their daily activities. The condition of the incoming streams discourages this southern princess from taking a dip. Even cricket defies gravity as a preference over swimming. The little dog has seen snow before on numerous occasions, but this older compacted form is a different kettle of water. Our impromptu excursion brings us to some unexpected paraphernalia of a previous era. Cricket, being a keen restorer of old machinery, thoroughly inspects the components for their integrity. It's an important job. However, the little dog reckons these relics are beyond repair. Continuing on, we find more of the road we came in on, and a gate.
This is just a tiny little room. The wood doesn't look too old, so I don't know if it's been reinforced, if it was once a mine or a more extensive cabin. I couldn't say.
Inspired to carry on against our better judgment by what appears to be cave-like openings in the cliffs far ahead. The rock slides have completely covered up this road. They'd need a bulldozer before they could get another vehicle up here. This is a tough climb. Me and Cricket discarded our warmer garments back in camp thinking, I can barely speak, thinking once we got walking it'd warm up. The air hurts to breathe. I know how Cricket's handling this. There's veins of what almost looks like quartz in the granite, so it makes me wonder if these guys are chasing gold. That looks quite big. I'm a little concerned. Going into old mine shafts is a dangerous activity at the best of times, but in an area like this it'd be a great place for a bear to hibernate. So let's not do anything stupid. Stupid. Oh shit. There's a bit of a cliff. Hoping we can climb down, and I don't fancy going back the way I come. No, Cricket, this way. Stay away from the edge. You'll fall off. Come on, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Cricket's not trusting me on this excursion. Come on. Good job. Good job. Oh. I'm hoping the snow's not too deep because there could be a little channel down back to the road and we can get back to the car. Oh, this is fucking terrible. I'm gonna come down on my ass. Cricket's a little lighter. Cricket's like Legolas the elf. Let's go. You see how that lake's almost half frozen over? Then I think for an absolute bonza afternoon activity, we're going to take our big red boat and go ice canoeing.
Mr. Foreman told me that the ice was really thin, but it doesn't look thin to me. I think this ice is a little thicker than I first thought. We're getting there. Oh. This demonstrates just how thick the ice that we've been paddling through is. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but it definitely wasn't me. So after all that fuss, unloading the canoe and we've got to put it back on, that was our adventure. Maybe 30 yards at best. Oh, win some, lose some. Those fishy cliffs we saw earlier, no results. What's going on? Something really horrible's just happened. Oh, look at that's bounced off. The air intake, and that shouldn't do that, so that might be an easy fix, hopefully. The hose clamp that holds on our intake thing just snapped, which is not good. And the next one, I have a hose clamp, but it's slightly too small, like a Mickey whisker. So, I'm not sure how we're going to get out of this just yet, but we won't know until we try. Right. Don't want to get too excited just yet, but this might work. It's the last night of our trip. So on our way home, we decided to stay someplace familiar. This is the Chemung Mine. I think that's how it's pronounced. And Gav and I spent our very first wedding anniversary here. So here we are again. We've brought Cricket. She loves it. So yeah, welcome to the mine, or as Mr. Foreman liked to call it, Hotel Scheissenhausen.
What'd you find? I saw a squirrel.
This mine site was founded back in 1909 and was reportedly a good producer of gold. The structures here have also been said to have been torn down and rebuilt 3 times. It was eventually abandoned and all but forgotten in 1938. Rumors say the buildings are haunted by a poltergeist, but he only works on Saturdays.
See that big boiler or whatever it is? Tempting, but no.
Our final morning leaves us with a long journey back home after 2 months on the road. And when we get there, there's some important business to attend to. Cricket, we've got work to do.